It's that time of the year when the commercial hub of Africa, Lagos State, plays host
as 2025 International Trade Fair gets underway, and stakeholders brainstorm on good governance and financial crime in Lagos. Plus, latest in the world of entertainment and sports. A warm welcome to NTA Lagos Channel 10 News at 7. I am Musa Toliat. We begin with Saturday's governorship election in Anambra State, and we tell you that the Inspector General of Police says strategic deployment have been made to ensure that there is a hitch-free governorship election in Anambra State come Saturday. Details here in our report.
Layer block that will serve as a conference center and will serve other purposes in the command.
Done with the event, IGP Egbetokun sheds light on police readiness for the November 8th governorship election in Anambra State. He also speaks on new initiatives aimed at strengthening security architecture to defeat banditry and various organized crime across the country.
We are fully prepared to provide security for the election in Anambra. We have completed our deployment. 2 DIGs are already on ground, supervising all the security agencies deployed for this election. Voters in Anambra should come out to cast their vote. A level playing ground is going to be provided for all the candidates. The Nigerian police does not have a candidate in this election. Our commitment and our loyalty is to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. For us to secure this country, we must all come together. We must all believe in ourselves. And we must shun fake news. Enough of falsehood. When people spread falsehood against security institutions that are providing security, they are weakening the resolve of the nation.
The IGP reassured Nigerians that police formations and commands have been directed to put in place adequate security measures to keep Nigerians safe during and beyond the Yuletide season. In Lagos,
the 2025 edition of the Lagos International Trade Fair, featuring about 2,000 local and international exhibitors, is now open to the public for patronage. SA Onwameka reports that the fair, organized by the Lagos State Chamber of Commerce and Industry, is holding at the Tafawa Balewa Square in Lagos.
Time of the year when the commercial hub of Africa, Lagos State, plays host to about 2,000 local and international exhibitors at the 2025 edition of the Lagos State International Trade Fair, holding at the prestigious Tafawa Balewa Square on Lagos Island. Declaring the fair open in the presence of captains of industries, members of the diplomatic corps, and key business stakeholders, President Bola Tinubu, who was represented, affirmed that Nigeria's business environment remains viable for trade and investment within Africa and beyond.
Under the renewed hope agenda, we are moving purposely from potential to productivity, rebuilding the fundamentals of our economy, deepening investor confidence, and championing local industry, innovation, and trade.
Government participation in the fair is a tangible demonstration of the commitment of governments, not in Nigeria but across the world, to empowering the private sector to produce for local consumption, export and intra-Africa trade.
Babajide Sanwo-Olu, who was equally represented, the 2025 Lagos International Trade Fair provides a platform to network, collaborate and form strategic partnerships that will drive economic growth and further position Lagos State and Nigeria on the global stage.
When you invest in Lagos, you invest in a government that understands the power of enterprise and is committed to building the strongest enabling environment for businesses to thrive.
Stakeholders describe the fair as a gateway to business opportunities for small and medium-scale enterprises, cooperatives and large-scale investors, thereby promoting inclusive economic growth.
The economic relationship between Japan and Nigeria goes beyond trade. It extends to human resource development, technical cooperation, and the localization of manufacturing.
The 39th edition of the Lagos International Trade Fair, with the theme Connecting Business, Creating Value, runs at the Tafawa Balewa Square from the 7th to the 16th of November 2025. In Lagos, SA Onwameka, NT News.
Stakeholders from across Africa have converged on Lagos for the 2025 Governance, Risk Compliance and Financial Crime Summit, African edition, with a shared resolve to strengthen the continent's defense against financial crime through collaboration, innovation, and homegrown solutions. Jessica Moses was at the summit and now reports.
The experts, regulators, and industry leaders to address the growing risks facing Africa's financial sector. Discussions centered on the need for stronger partnerships among financial institutions, government agencies, and law enforcement bodies to enhance transparency and ensure effective risk mitigation across borders. A major concern raised at the event was the rising incident of identity fraud, which experts identified as one of the continent's biggest challenges. They called on African governments to harmonize national identification systems, arguing that fragmented databases and weak verification structures continue to make financial crimes difficult to trace.
For financial criminals, for example, their modus of operandi is to be able to dissociate their real identity, right, from the actual event, which is the fraudulent event in this case. And how they do this is either they employ synthetic identity or they get other people's identity, right, and then use it to perpetrate fraud.
Today we have BVN, we have NIN, we have national ID card, we have national passport. All these are forms of identification. It is the government responsibility to make sure that they harmonize all these identity methods into one single source of identity. That way, people cannot have multiple identities and you can hold people accountable, right? And then you'll be able to help people to know, if I'm dealing with you today, that you are the person whom you are actually.
Convener of the summit, Funsua Musa, emphasized that while many African institutions have adopted Western-style approaches to managing risk, these models often fail to reflect the continent's unique realities. He advocated for homegrown solutions tailored to Africa's socio-economic environment.
We want to ensure that within the African space, our solutions, our framework and governance speaks of how we do things, and we want to build capacity within the African countries, within African territories, to make sure that those capacities understand, have the technical know-how to addressing Africa issues.
This must not end just here in the Marriott. It must go to the regulators, not only the regulators in Nigeria, but the regulators across. I mean, we've got the AU, we've got SADC, there is ECOWAS. You know, at these bodies, we need to start sending that message to say, let's build a model for Africa.
The summit also examined the growing influence of artificial intelligence, highlighting its potential to both heighten and help prevent financial risk, depending on how responsibly it is deployed. In Lagos, Jesuto Moses, NTA News.
From Financial Crime Summit to Climate Change Summit. Lagos State is taking a bold step towards a sustainable future with new plans to harness its ocean resources and strengthen resilience against climate change. Joy Ken Abakboya reports from the 11th Lagos International Climate Change Summit, where Lagos leads the call for a greener and resilient future.
On water, energy and enterprise is charting a new course to turn its blue waters into green wealth. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu says the state is to unlock sustainable financing and drive innovation that will protect its coastline and power economic growth. Speaking at the Climate Change Summit themed Blue Economy, Green Money, the governor said Lagos is leading Africa's drive for a cleaner climate and a vibrant blue economy that secures lives, livelihoods, and long-term prosperity.
We believe that together we can make a Lagos the beating heart of Africa, not just for today, but in a sustainable future. A city that did not drown under the weight of climate change, but it rose above it to lead the world.
Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, said the summit is about reimagining the ocean not as a resource to exploit, but as a